5 divisions. Second World War there was 6, 7, 8 and 9. The 6 and the 7 went to the Middle East, the 8 went to Singapore, the 9th went to England, and then back to Egypt, and then back to New Guinea very late. I was in the first one, the 6th Division, which is the one to be proud of, because I suppose you were first.
By mid-1941, a three-pronged threat had developed in the Middle East. Rommel and his Africa Corps had landed at Tripoli and thrust towards Cairo and the Suez Canal, leaving Tobruk as a thorn in his side. Another German army seized Yugoslavia, engulfed Greece, and parachuted into Crete. The third threat was in Vichy French Syria. It was known that Germans had infiltrated Syria, and Winston Churchill thought it essential to occupy Syria and forestall another threat to the Suez Canal.
I was up in Syria, where the fighting is in Syria, Aleppo, Homs, Hama, Damascus.
All those places we see in the news.
We fought the French there, the Foreign Legion.
Yeah.
And I was prepared with 2 other fellows, one from Glendennis, a carpenter, and one from Tennant's Creek, Doug Elson. I got a tattoo in Jerusalem, the worst thing I ever did in my life. I had a fair bit. We just arrived. We were given a day's leave in Jerusalem, and I got a horse and rode around the wall. And then we were in the club, and we drank beer till we couldn't see. And Percy, from Glendennis, he wanted a tattoo. So there's 4 of you. You go everywhere in groups of 4. The 4 varies, but there's always 4 of you.
Okay.
And we went to get him a tattoo. It cost 1 and 3 or something. And they all got it here. And thank Christ, I had enough sense to get it under the arm. Because I played golf all my life with 1 sleeve down to there and 1 short sleeve. Everyone used to wonder why I had 1 long sleeve, 1 short sleeve. No one ever saw it. My wife didn't see it for 3 months. The Middle East was relatively easy. You had trucks and vehicles, and you travelled. It was interesting when you're on leave in Jerusalem and Syria. It was an interesting country. Yeah. We used the villages to work. They're nice people, the Syrians. Damascus, Aleppo, I read in the paper, Homs and Hama. I know them so well.
All these places, yeah.
I built a main road there.
Huh?
This was the days when Germany was attacking Leningrad, Moscow.
Right.
And as heavy snow came in the middle of this job, but to start off there was no snow. So we had a bitumen road over a camel track up towards Aleppo. Aleppo's the most northerly part of, near Turkey. The contract was given to the Jews who subcontracted to the Arabs. Jacob, the Jew, he'd gone too far, and I could see the dust on the metal. So I got the Arabs to roll up the road like you would a carpet, the width of the road, roll it up and pitch it off the side of the road. And I said, Jacob, I'm sorry I had to do that. He said, Mr. Westphal, Mr. Westphal, you're 21 years old. You worked on the stock exchange. I am a qualified engineer. I speak 8 languages. And you're telling me how to build a road. I said, Jacob, I've got a uniform on. You haven't. The road's off. Yeah. That's the way he told to me. I'll never forget it. Yeah, I got 8 languages, I'm a qualified engineer, and you're telling me. I said, Jacob, that's a sheet of paper, says there what we both got to do.
Yeah.
I live by that.
Sure.
You broke the rules, you got to pay for it.
It was in Syria that an Australian gunner officer, Lieutenant A.R. Cutler, won the first and only Victoria Cross awarded to an Australian artilleryman in either World War.
I wasn't far away, I was probably 3 miles away. I was on a front into Damascus. Right. And he was in the artillery. He's the first artilleryman to get a VC.
Huh?
The artillery is very safe. We had a saying, if someone from the artillery joined us, we'd all stand up. You stand up for the gentlemen of the artillery. They don't get hand-to-hand fighting.
No.
So it was gentlemen of the artillery. And Roden Cutler got a VC because he left his group and got a machine gun nest and beat them and threw grenades and whatever he did. Anyway, I don't think a soldier would have got it.
Right.
But
Right.
Cutler was it was
'Cause he was an
publicity. There's a lot of politics in anything in life.
Sure.
You know, you
Sure.
want publicity, but he was a great. He was there, and he got it. A division is about 1,200 men. It's got infantry. Infantry do the fighting. They're supported by engineers. We take the mines and we take mines, flamethrowers, build bridges, blow up bridges.
When the roads were cleared, the infantry pushed on.
We're probably the most killed, mainly picking up a minefield in the desert. The Germans and us, when you put a minefield down, the Germans would put, you got to put a pattern. They know you got to go there, and up on the hills behind it, they've got machine guns. And so engineers, we had to go through and with a bayonet and find the mines. And when you find 3 or 4, it tells you the pattern. And you've only got to get probably 10 out, and you've got a pattern. And we have to, I never did personally, but I was trained at it. And you have a pattern, and you put a ribbon down, and the infantry would follow through that avenue.
Right.
The French fought with a fury of despair until they saw the Australian bayonets. Then, at last, they broke and fled. The 18,000 Australians who had borne the brunt of the campaign at the cost of 1,600 casualties welcomed its end with relief. Some units were in such rough country that their victory beer issue had to be carried up to them on muleback. They've earned a drink.
It's not all, most of the time you're not fighting, you're doing things. Engineer unit will do a bridge or do a road, or you're fully involved. I met John Wayne. We had Christmas parties. You'd have a division has a group of people that form a musical society. They put on a theatre.
Right.
And in the desert, we're all sitting down in the desert, and there's a stage, and a curtain, and a thing came on, "Target for tonight," in big black letters. They pulled the curtain across, and there's a woman lying on a bed. That was the target. It wasn't a woman, of course, it was a man. But that was the target for the night. I've never forgotten. We're in the desert and there's no women within 100 miles, 1,000 miles. I've never forgot. I told them up here about it.
Yeah, brilliant.
The target for the night.